Clay Black, LBC Woodworks. Welcome back to my shop and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we have a special project for you because it doesn't involve me. It involves my beautiful wife Susan, and Susan loves doing arts and crafts projects. Well, when I was designing the shop, I wanted an area for Susan to do her arts and crafts project. So, in searching around, we stumbled across an antique joiner's bench or woodworker's bench, complete with tail vise, face vise, wood screws, still in working order. Came across this at an antique store over in Hazel, Kentucky. Now, we got that back, put it in the shop, and it made the perfect little corner, but it needed more. Susan, who is a retired school principal, began her teaching career in 1974 at Casey Elementary School in Casey, Kentucky. Now, the building hasn't been used as a school in years, has fallen on disrepair, and we were able to get in and salvage the blackboard, the chalkboard, out of her classroom, along with the chalk tray. We were able to cut it up and put it on the wall around the window behind her craft bench. Now, we boarded it with some of the hardwood planks out of the old gymnasium. Overhead, I hung an old log out of a farm structure in O'Brien County, Tennessee. Now, this log still has a dovetail joint on one end. Suspended it overhead from the ceiling, wrapped it with string lights, and it just really made the perfect crafts corner. Most people call their shop a man cave. I'm sorry, not me. I love having my wife out here. A family that plays together stays together. And I really enjoy it when Susan's over there doing her projects and I'm over here doing mine. So, we won't keep you any longer, and we're going to turn it over to Susan, and today she's going to make a pumpkin just for you. Nordic Ware of Minneapolis, Minnesota introduced the Bundt pan in 1950 and has since sold over 70 million units. Nordic Ware is one of the few companies still making cookware products in the USA. You can often find these in antique stores for just a few dollars and are perfect for this craft project.
Because a Bundt pan looks so much like half of a pumpkin, this was exactly what I wanted to use for this project. I originally was going to make a door hanger using one Bundt pan, but then when I reached to the top of the shelf, there were two there. Clay had picked up an extra one at an antique shop. So I had two pumpkins. I set one on top of the other, and it made a perfect pumpkin. I had no guilt at using these two pans for this project because if I'm baking anything these days, I'm only using cast iron. So that's not something I would be missing.
Now, if you only want to use one for a door hanger, you will need to drill two holes about 3 inches apart on the top edge as it would hang on the door. You can use wire or burlap twine to suspend it from a door hook. To use Titebond CA Glue and activator, apply a thin bead of glue all the way around the top edge of one of the pans. Next, spray the activator onto the top edge of the second pan. Take the second pan and carefully sit it on top of the first pan with the two top edges touching, and you have a pumpkin. Titebond CA Glue and activator available at woodcraft.com. We use Krylon Paint and Primer Gloss Pumpkin Orange, available at your nearest Lowe's or at lowes.com.
I had to find out which direction the wind was blowing. It didn't blow on me. And it will take more than one coat. It's already looking like pumpkin. a nice breeze. It should dry really quickly. See any spots that I miss? I wanted my pumpkin to look a little bit on the rustic side, not perfect, so I used a foam sanding block, and using a hit and miss method, I just went around the edges, hitting it and taking off enough paint so that it looked rustic enough for me. Here you're going to see the workbench that Clay was talking about earlier. The lady in Hazel that had it for sale wanted a lot more money than Clay wanted to pay, but of course he talked her down. Now here you'll see me wrapping a florist wire around a number 2 pencil. I do that to get the effect of the vines from the pumpkin, and pull it out, stretch it out. And I was telling Clay, I learned a long time ago that when you're putting embellishments on it, you always want an odd number, so I made 3 of them. Now I'm using a hot glue gun to glue everything in place so it won't scoot around once it's sitting out. The florist wire vines, a few leaves that I've added to it, and the stem that you're looking at I just made by wrapping some twine around a few sticks. Makes it look really rustic. And the finishing touch is just some raffia that I wrapped around it to make a bow, and it just makes it look a little fancy. Now you have a completed pumpkin. This was an easy 1 or 2 day project and will bring new life to your fall decor.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed today's project, Susan's Pumpkin for Fall Decor. Remember, subscribe to our channel, click the little bell at the bottom to get notifications. We're glad you joined us.